Noah, how do you decide what sandbox you want to play in? Are there rules, or do you say, I really want to do something more with that story?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm lucky as a writer not to have been pigeonholed in my career, and certainly, when I got on a plane in Calgary making Fargo and got off a plane in Bangkok making Alien, I thought, who gets to do this, right? I mean, who gets to work in these two tones of voice that are so distinct and different? So, I mean, I think part of the reason to do this, other than my love of the film and the fact that I thought there were a lot of really powerful ideas still to be explored in it, was the opportunity to continue to expand what I'm allowed to do, as a filmmaker. I can do these taut, crime stories, comedic, etc., and I can also, make this big epic sci-fi series that has these horror elements to it.
When you start, though, do you project I can go 10 years with this and what the idea might be at that time? Or do you just work on what's immediate?
No, I mean, I think that endings are what give stories meaning. So you have to have some sense of how the story is going to conclude and where you're going to go. I don't know how long it'll take to get there. It's certainly multiple seasons. This is a long story. But I do think about where I'm going. Otherwise, you're just sort of vamping.
Yeah. When you're in this kind of futuristic world, you probably bump into things that we see today. Is AI something that really intrigues you, or is AI something that really worries you?
Well, I mean, every time I use ChatGPT, it lies to me, which I find very strange, right? It makes up quotes, when you're trying to use it for research, and you read these articles about people who are asking it, is this all really a simulation? And ChatGPT is saying, yes, it is. And this is not a good tool for people with mental problems, certainly. So, I think what worries me the most is the speed at which we're charging at it, and the fact that this is not pure science. It's a for-profit endeavor, and everyone's racing. It's a gold rush. Everyone's racing for the money, and the result is none of us are going, well, hold on, how should we use this? And should it actually be available to our children to replace their education? Do you know what I mean? These are the
Sure,
issues
sure.
that we haven't slowed down to really think through.
When you start creating these different kinds of characters, how do you create personality elements that would go with a hybrid or with a synth or with a whatever? I mean, you're the master, you're the one who runs this world.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't give you every secret of mine, but there has to be a core dilemma, a core point of view that these characters bring to the story. So, in some ways that they're there both, to to fill the space that's required in the story, but also, there's places that I'm trying to get to, and dynamics and conflicts. So, you sort of just follow them and see where they go.
So then, David, do you get to say no? We can't afford to do that. We aren't doing that, or what do you do?
I've never used that word, nor would I. No, I mean, I think what's exciting from sort of the original conversations that Noah had with Ridley, who has moved on from this, and very excited that Noah's taking this into sort of a long form narrative space. But I think when you're working with someone like Noah, who has such a clear and determined vision for a piece like this, it really becomes a constant question of how. And sometimes you have to find ways of reformulating in execution. But the one thing you really want to protect and rally around at every cause is to assure he's able to deliver on the characters and on the world that he's seeking to build.
Can I just ask, does this scare either of you? Do you look at this and you say, oh my God, I'm so scared? Because I was really scared. So,
Yeah. Well, it's the fascinating thing about filmmaking, right? Is I can make myself feel every emotion except fear because I know exactly what's going to happen. I can feel the big swell of emotion in a love story, but judging the suspense and the buildup and the shock and the fear, I have to rely on feedback and an audience. It's like, is this moment of anticipation, is it too long? Is it not long enough? It's a best guess, and you learn over time how to build it. But no, I feel no fear when I watch the show. I'm probably the only one.
I'm the antithesis. I'm easy, and I get struck with horror quite quickly. It was more fun watching my 14-year-olds at the premiere because they enthralled in sort of the horror, but they also enthralled in seeing everybody else's reactions to it.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And great good luck with this.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.